Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and I'm alive. And my internet is, well, if you see this video go up on Wednesday, then yes, my internet's fine. If you don't see this video go up on Wednesday, then, well, I don't know when this video is going up, but hi, how you doing? Anyway, so, what has happened with Laura, in my case, real quick, what normally happens with a hurricane, especially one of this size, the hurricane force winds normally extend from the center of the eye for quite some distance, but apparently with Laura it was very, very concentrated around the eye. I mean, it still went out for I think like 40 or 60 miles, but they didn't extend out as far as most hurricanes do, especially ones that are as large as Laura was. So basically all the hurricane force winds were concentrated in about a 40 to I think 60-mile radius around the eye of the storm, and where I live was on the edge of that radius, so we didn't get major hurricane force winds, but we still got 70, 80 mile an hour winds last night, along with a bunch of rain and wind, and we're still getting rain and tropical storm wind today. But for the worst of it should have passed for us. We are under a lot of tornado I think warnings right now, or watches, for the rest of the day, just because of the amount of thunderstorms that are going to come rolling through here for the rest of the day. But as of now, I still have internet, I still have power, and I really wouldn't be making this video, but some really interesting stuff just got announced via the dev blog that I want to share with you guys. And it's really, some of it's really interesting, some of it's like, oh, another reskin of another ship. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. I will include this in the link down below. If you guys want to read with me as I follow along, I will throw up any relevant graphics or pictures that they include, but let's go ahead. I'm going to read right from this. So ST.9.9 new ships. Please note that all information in the development blog is preliminary and subject to change during testing. Any showcase features may or may not end up on the main server. The final information will be published on our game's website. Japanese battleship Hizen Tier 9, or Hizen, not exactly sure how you're supposed to pronounce that. One of the Super Battleship Project's variants, Project A140-J3, preliminary to the creation of the Yamato-class battleships. The main armament of the ship is 12 410mm guns and 4 turrets. Such a number of guns, uncharacteristic for Japanese high-tier battleships, allow the ship to deal a significant amount of damage. Okay, it looks very interesting. At first glance, I thought this was just a Izumo hull with 12 410s instead of her 9 410s, but it does look like the hull is fairly unique. It is kind of Izumo-ish, but I mean, the Izumo, it was based off of some of the super battleship design projects anyway, so it makes sense that the hull would look similar, but it doesn't look like a standard copy-paste job. The rear end of the ship, the stern, it kind of looks like that aircraft pit that the Izumo has, but I can't really tell from the angle that they provide. But the middle and front do look a bit different than the Izumo. But 12 410mm guns, that's interesting. That's Montana levels of firepower. And they do give the ship's characteristics down at the bottom. We will go over that. But I just want to read through all of them first and give you guys my quick opinion on each one. But yeah, that one, that looks interesting. We'll cover that one more when we get to the statistics. Alright, German destroyer Z-44 Tier 9, a Type 1936B torpedo destroyer armed with 2 quintuple torpedo tubes with fast reload and long-range torpedoes. That means many things if you're talking about the Germans, because the German torpedoes on most of their duties are only 8 kilometers, so long range could be something like 10 kilometers or 12 kilometers, jokingly. It probably really has like 15-kilometer torpedoes, or probably 20s, but we'll check that out at the bottom. The ship is mostly suitable for torpedo attacks from a distance. Unlike researchable destroyers, Z-44 lacks a hydroacoustic search consumable. Okay, so it sounds like they maybe give it Japanese torpedoes, but took away the German hydro gimmick. Again, we'll see more on that at the bottom. Again, looks like a pretty standard German DD design. Don't play German DDs just yet. That's one line I've yet to grind up. French battleship Strasbourg, Tier 7. Strasbourg is a Dunkirk-class battleship equipped with main battery reload booster consumable. Her decent rate of fire, good firing range, and mediocre armor makes her most effective when playing at a distance and conducting flank attacks. So this, I do believe, is a straight-up copy-paste of the Dunkirk. They just gave it the main battery reload booster. I'm fairly confident that that's all that this is. And I like the Dunkirk. Dunkirk with a reload booster is nice. I don't know why they just couldn't give it the reload booster, though. I mean, obviously they want to make money, and that's what it is. But yeah, if this is a Dunkirk with a reload booster, should be a pretty good ship. Alright, British cruiser Plymouth, Tier 10. One of the variants of the project preliminary to the construction of the Edinburgh-class cruisers. The main features of the ship are 16 152mm guns and 4 turrets and the availability of only AP shells, similar to the ones available to the British light cruisers Tech Tree branch. The ship is equipped with surveillance radar, smoke generator, and hydroacoustic search consumables, but has a short firing range and light armor. Plymouth feels more comfortable when firing over islands or from smoke, if the situation allows. When contesting caps, it is important to be careful because of the shorter than average range of the surveillance radar consumable will lead to the necessity to get closer to the enemy. Torpedoes with a 10-kilometer range, that's pretty good, which can be launched from smoke, may also prove quite useful. Unlike Minotaur, Plymouth has more guns, the simultaneous availability of surveillance radar and smoke generator, and slightly better armor. However, she has a lower firing range, longer main battery reload, less powerful AA, 2 times fewer torpedo tubes, and she is equipped with a standard repair party consumable. 16 guns. What is it with wargaming and 16-gun cruisers? They did say it has a slower firing rate, but that is quote-unquote slower from Minotaur, which basically never has to stop firing. So again, we'll see that, and we'll see what that exactly means in the statistics tab. 2 times fewer torpedoes. That sounds like a very complicated way of saying a half or a quarter. We'll see again exactly what that means in the comment section, in the statistics session. But yeah, 16 guns on a cruiser with only AP. At least it was only AP. I was beginning to worry they was going to have AP and HE, but it is only AP, something that I think the Smalllands should only have at this point, because that ship is beyond annoying. Better armor than the Minnow, but it has a standard heal. So it sounds like when you chunk this thing for half its health, it's going to stick, whereas you can chunk a Minotaur for half its health, and it can, of course, regrow the parts of the ship that you just obliterated. So, yeah, very interesting ship. We'll see more about it in the statistics tab. Commonwealth cruiser Mysore, Tier 6, or Mysore? A Fiji-type light cruiser built for the Royal Navy and transferred to the Indian Navy. Like British light cruisers, the ship is equipped with AP shells. A crawling smoke generator consumable will be of use when having to retreat, or on the contrary, get closer to the target, and hydroacoustic search will allow her to detect enemy ships and torpedoes. So is this just a reskin Fiji, but with a crawling smoke generator? Okay, well, this will be the first Indian ship in the game, so it has that going for it. Okay, so it's a Fiji. I played through the Fiji. Fiji felt okay. And now it's Indian, but with a crawling smoke generator. Okay, alright, let's get to the statistics now. So this is the Hizen, the Japanese Tier 9 battleship. So it's going to have 80,700 hit points. That sounds about right for Tier 9. 32mm plating, of course. So it's 12 410 16-inch guns. Will have a fire range of 21.1 kilometers. Maximum HE shell damage of 6,500, 30% chance to cause a fire. Maximum AP shell damage of 12,750. It sounds like Izumo's guns. Reload time of 30 seconds, 180 time of 40 seconds. Sounds pretty Japanese. Maximum dispersion of 236 meters, and a sigma of 1.7. Okay, so again, about par for the course with Tier 9 ships with 12 guns. However, the Palmer does only have 1.5, but of course the Palmer does also have amazing secondaries and torpedoes and amazing armor, so that's why I would expect that Sigma to get dropped to maybe 1.6 though, because still 12 16-inch Japanese guns at Tier 9 is going to hurt like crap. Consumables, it's got damage con, repair party, it does have a fighter or a spotter, so you could get that 21-kilometer range out a little bit further, and its maximum speed is 28 knots. So, sounds pretty interesting. The ship does look very interesting. I do like the design of it. It's very different. It still has that Imperial Japanese Navy look, but its gun placement, especially with some of its secondary guns, like, it looks like it has the triple 152 millimeter turrets in the back like the Izumo has, but they're a little bit more spaced out. Again, very interesting looking design. Definitely a paper ship, and, you know, paper ships, I think ones like this are pretty cool. That, you know, it was one of the designs for the Yami, which is a real historic ship, and now we have the A150, which is kind of the post design for the Yami, the successor, if you will, to the Yami class. So I think paper ships like this are pretty cool, but you know, I'm pretty sure most of these ships are paper ships, but you know, just spamming paper ships, that's where I don't like that. Okay, Z44. Okay, so main battery 5 times 1 is 128, so they're German 128s with 11-kilometer fire range and main battery guns. Where is the torps at? Torpedo tubes. So it's got 2x5, so 10 torps. 533 millimeter torps. Maximum damage 13,700 with a range of. Oh my god! I was joking about the 12-kilometer range. 12-kilometer range is not long range at tier 9. I mean, that's pretty good range, but that's not long range. Speed 64 knots. Reload time 85 seconds. Launcher 180 times 7.2 seconds. Torpedo detectability 1.3 kilometers. Yeah, I'm not a German DD player, but I do know that their torps are limited to 8 kilometers, so it's just 4 more kilometers worth of torpedoes. So I'm not exactly sure if you would call that a torp boat. I mean, it's a torp boat by German standards, but by actual torp boat standards, only a 12-kilometer range. I mean, I'd hesitate to call that long range. Now, I'm not talking about 20-kilometer range like, you know, the Shimakaze, but I was expecting something along the lines of maybe 15 kilometers. Okay. Maximum speed 36 knots, and its consumables are damage con, smoke generator, action time of 20 seconds, duration time of 77 seconds, reload time of 160 seconds, and you get 3 charges of that base, and an engine boost. Alright, French battleship Strasbourg. I think this one actually did exist. Let me check real quick. Yeah. Okay, so I knew that 2 Dunkirks were really built. I just didn't remember the name of the second one. So the Strasbourg did exist. So this was a real still ship. Alright, so hit points 52,600, plating 26 millimeters. It's got the Dunkirk's guns, Dunkirk's firing range. Yeah, it sounds like it's a Dunkirk. Now it gets the main battery reload booster, so the duration time's 20 seconds. You get a 50% boost to the reload time of the main battery guns, and you get 4 charges worth of that. And it takes 120 seconds for it to reload. And you get repair party and fighter/spotter. So it is a Dunkirk, but it does have 26 millimeters of armor instead of 25 millimeters of armor, which I was very concerned about, saying that it was a Dunkirk placed at tier 7, because that means you could get up tier to tier 9. Which would absolutely just dump all over the current Dunkirk that we have. So it's a Dunkirk with 26 millimeters of armor plating, with damage with a main battery reload booster. So, you know, I mean, I do think the Dunkirk's guns could perform well at tier 7 with the main battery reload booster, because with the French penetration, if you do catch anything broadside, even cruisers now, if you get up tier to tier 9, you will absolutely slap the living crap out of them. And with the reload booster, when you're in a situation where there's a battleship with some, you know, with armor you obviously can't pin, switch over to HE, pop reload booster, burn the world, and plus she has a reload time of 21 seconds base, so that's pretty good reload time. It's basically a super cruiser at tiers. If it gets up to tier 9, it's pretty much a super cruiser at that point. So there you have it. So the Plymouth. All right, so let's see. The main battery 4x4, 152 millimeter guns, with a 14.3 kilometer firing range base, so that is actually fairly short, although I do imagine you will be able to get that out quite a bit. Let's see, how long does it take to reload? 7.5 seconds. Okay, so it is actually a long reload time for a light cruiser, but I mean, 16 shells coming at you at once, that's still quite a bit. Thankfully, again, no HE, so that does actually sound pretty balanced as of now, although again with modules and stuff you'd probably be able to get that down to somewhere in the neighborhood of like low 6, maybe high 5 seconds, and of course with Adrenaline Rush 2. So it's a lot of shells, but it's not like the small ones where it's absolutely just vomiting them out every 4 seconds or 3.5 seconds if you really want to get the small lenses reload down. So it's got 8 torpedoes. Maximum range of 10 kilometers, damage of 16,767, 62 knot top speed. They reload in 96 seconds, and they have a detectability of 1.3 kilometers. and you can choose the individual torpedoes or the entire launcher at once. So it's got British torps. So yeah, you can get damage con, repair party, hydroacoustic search, smoke generator, and surveillance radar. It's 40-second duration time, dang, and detectability of ships at 9 kilometers, reloads for 120 seconds, and you have 3 charges of it. 40 seconds, that's pretty long. Granted, I don't have the Minotaur or the Neptune, so I've never experienced their radars before from using them. I've been radared by them before, but I don't know their exact duration time. Alright, so the Mysore, yeah, it's a Fiji. It's literally a Fiji, but with a crawling smoke generator. That's it. Alright, so overall these ships, the Hizen I'm excited for. You know, I'm not like super hyped up for it, but the design looks interesting. Their ship looks interesting to me. The Z-44, I'm not that big of a DD player, and calling it a tort boat, I mean, I don't know if it's exactly a tort boat. By German standards, yes, but by every other Tier 9 torpedo boat standards, maybe. The Strasbourg, I am a bit excited for that one. I really enjoy the Dunkirk, and a Tier 7 Dunkirk with slightly better armor and main battery reload booster and those sweet French 330mm guns. I am kind of excited for that, although I do think it'll be fun trying to balance that in, you know, when it was going to be up to the Tier 9 quite a bit. Plymouth, interesting. I don't know how well it's going to do having a 7.5 second reload on her guns. Although it does kind of sound like a Tier 10 Belfast, but with only AP. So yeah, it has a lot of utility though, with hydro, radar, and smoke all in one ship. So it does have a whole lot going for it. Mysore, it's a reskin Fiji, but it's Indian. So hey, Indians, you got your first ship in the game. Congratulations. So overall, very interesting ships to be announced here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Again, I am safe. Thanks to all you guys that wish me safety and good luck last night after the stream ended. I really appreciate it, you guys. I am safe for now. This will probably be the only video that you hear from me during the storm, unless some other news comes out. But I got plenty of videos lined up for you guys to enjoy for the rest of the week, so I hope you do enjoy that. If you did enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 20,000 subscribers. We recently passed 16,000. I can't thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to catch you guys in the next one.